I'm Anna Jade, and I'm the mother of Klay Khalil Lustre. And I'd like to say good morning to each and every one of you. And I'm, my heart is really bursting with so much happiness right now because, you know what? Same time last year I was here. I oh, I am one of the many hopeful parents. I was I was on one of the parents, one of the audience. I was just watching other successful babies who had the liver transplant, and I was silently praying and saying, I hope my baby will get well soon. I hope my baby will be like that also. And now, fast forward 1 year, I am now in front of you and giving this testimonial. So it's just unbelievable for me. Sorry for my excitement. My baby was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder called PFIC, which is progressive familial intrahepatic cholestasis. Unlike any other babies, it wasn't really jaundice or bloating tummy or pale stool. That's not the first things that we noticed with him. The initial complaint I had with him was just severe itching, like was excessively itching all over. He was scratching his face, his body, his eyes, behind the ears. He barely slept. I know that as having a newborn, of course, it's part that parents wouldn't really have proper sleep. But with Klay, because of his itching, it was really 3 times more, I guess. So at first we thought that it was just a habit or like severe allergy or skin asthma. So we took him to a pediatrician around 1.5 months. And then he was prescribed lotions, creams, steroid, all the works, but it did not relieve his itching at all. And then come 3 months, I noticed that he was becoming jaundiced, his eyes were yellow, his tummy is bloating, he's always sick, he's always having diarrhea, pneumonia, all we were in and out of the hospital basically. And we were referred to a gastroenterologist, and then they said that Klay needs to undergo more tests. So we had it, and then some of the tests revealed that his liver function is already impaired, and radiologic tests showed that he has enlarged spleen. He was already showing signs of portal hypertension, and aside from that, his stool turned black. So, of course, it was such an emotional burden for us because I thought that his itching was just simple, was just common, and now I was faced with this heavy information that his liver is like that, like this. So, and the worst part of it was they can only say that after they ruled out all the usual diagnosis, the biliary atresia, the Carolis, the hepatitis, they can only say that it's neonatal cholestasis. So there's really no definite diagnosis for Klay. So I'm very thankful that I've come to know the group Litro, and I was introduced to, I came upon to know Apollo Hospital, and so that is where I decided that because regardless of the diagnosis, Klay was showing complications of the disease already. So regardless if we know what it is we're battling or not, one thing is just for sure, and that is that we're racing against time for his life, and we really need to push through for the transplant. So yeah, come August last year, I was here and I met Dr. Sebal and this conference, and then after that, 3 months after that, we decided to raise the funds needed for his transplant. Sorry, I'm just gonna read this. So being just ordinary employees, we knew it would take us years before we can come up with the amount for the transplant. That was such an emotional and extremely difficult time for us, since aside from showing complications of the disease and we were having countless hospital admissions, it ran also our pockets empty, our eyes of tears, and our hearts of hope. We were clearly racing against time for his life, so we decided to fight and we started building his transplant funds. We began fundraising like selling t-shirts, snacks like nuts, chicharon, cookie sweets. We started decluttering and selling pre-loved stuff, held garage sale, and lastly, we loaned our house to the bank and asked family and relatives for help. And then we came up to know an international foundation, which is PhilHealth, and Apollo Hospital. So these two are the biggest factors which paved the way for his transplant. We took to social media and we were unbelievably overwhelmed with the response. So 3 months after he was initially diagnosed with cholestasis and 5 potential liver donors, we were able to fly to India last October for the transplant. So by the grace of God, he had his life-saving operation on November 13, 2018. And then when the deceased liver was taken out, it was subjected to tests and which revealed his true diagnosis, the disease that almost didn't make him reach his first birthday. But then we thought, along with the restrictions that came with being a post-transplant, that we would come home after the usual 60-day recovery period. But Klay's recovery turned out to be an uphill climb. So we stayed there in Apollo for 133 days. So imagine we arrived there October 25. October 26, Klay went into a critical state. And then 28, 2 days after we arrived. And October 28, that was actually my birthday when he was moved into the ICU, and I was talking to Dr. Smita, and it's my birthday today, what kind of event is this? And then she said, consider this as a gift that they would be well for the transplant. So he was confined for 1 month before he was approved for the transplant. And then after the transplant, yeah, the recovery was challenging and full of setbacks, but I truly appreciate the liver team and the pediatric team of Apollo because, my God, all the options, there were no options untried, no stones unturned. They were really focused on Klay, and they made sure that Klay went home. Even if he stayed there long, they made sure that when he was discharged, he was really well and fit to go home. So I know thank you doesn't even begin to cover it. How am I grateful to everyone in Apollo. I am just so glad that we came to Apollo and not somewhere else. Dr. Sibal, thank you for all the many times that I bug you when I can talk to Dr. Nirao and Dr. Smita. Because when I can't find those two, I go to Dr. Sibal, and there's seamless flow of information between the doctors. You can ask anyone if they know what's happening to your child. I think that's the one thing that I admire most in the Apollo people, in Apollo doctors in Apollo. Aside from their excellence, it's like in their core to be excellent and compassionate at the same time. So thank you Apollo, and thank you for opening your doors to Filipino babies winning your hearts to our children. Maraming salamat po.